Welcome to the weekend. You said you were ready. Welcome to the weekend, and welcome to your preview on Grumpy Old Reds for Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Good morning, evening, or night. It is freezing cold, but we are here. We are live. And we've got a lot to talk about tonight. Hope you guys in the chat are well. Good to see the panelists with us. And don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already, for you guys filtering through late. Guys and girls, it's Forest Everton. It's the start of what potentially is going to be a huge 7 days. We've got Everton tomorrow, Fulham on Wednesday, and then is it again Wolves? Excuse me, Wolves on Saturday. This is going to be a busy week. And to add on top of that, we're sitting down with Big Norm on Thursday at In for a Penny. So if you haven't got your tickets, I think there's like 7 left or something like that. The link's in the pinned in the chat. Make sure you grab those tickets and let us know if you're coming, because we'll all be there, the old FFTV crew. And Dina, you guys good?
Frigging cold, man.
Freezing.
I'm sick of defrosting the car. I've realised that I've not got a scraper. So I've been sitting like, when taking mine into it, sitting like 10, 15 minutes waiting for everything to thaw. So other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, the only thing I'm slightly not looking forward to is how cold it's going to be down that City ground tomorrow evening.
-2, mate.
So cold.
-2
cold.
tomorrow.
-2.
If you get into the game, wrap the hell up. Jackie
Bought
Boy
some
with
new
the
gloves, though.
Congrats. Jackie Boy with the 8 months. Months. Thanks so much, Jack. Appreciate it, bro. Yes, it is the Three Musketeers this evening. Crypto's on some work, dude. Ez's connection, you guys all know about it. And Joe couldn't make it lastminute.com. But you got the 2 old farts and the young handsome 22-year-old.
Which one's which?
Well, I'll let the chat decide. All right, let's jump into this, boys. Lots to talk about. So, big game tomorrow. We did our fatal four-way yesterday, me and the Everton boys, which was good fun. We did warn you, it's past watershed. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know what I think the team is that Cooper's going to play. I don't know what I think the tactics are going to be. I don't know how I feel Everton are going to line up. I don't know how motivated they're going to feel. So I'm just going to kick this across to you, Dino, because we heard a bit from Ant yesterday. Let's kick it off with you. What do you know and what don't you know about tomorrow?
Well, I know how they'll line up. They'll line up in a 4-1-4-1, which is what they've lined up at every away game this season.
No, they've gone 4-4-1-1.
4-1-4-1.
You think Idris Sagana will play then?
I don't know. I don't know who's going to play it. I don't take any notice of Everton. You know me. I don't really like them, which is why I really enjoyed the stream you did yesterday with the boys. I mean, it was so good. It was so entertaining. Chat, if you've not seen that, it's worth a watch back. It's really X-rated.
It was.
Yeah, they line up in a 4-1-4-1 away and a 4-4-1-1 at home. That's how they line up. Guaranteed. That's what they've done all season.
Do you think it matters if Calvert-Lewin's not playing, though? Because that is obviously their talisman. There's talks that he's not going to be fit. Beto could come in instead. Mikey wasn't very complimentary about him, and yesterday was he then he's signing. Does it matter? Do they have goals in them, really, is what I'm asking.
Go on, I'm sorry.
No, evidently they've got one of the highest XGs in the league at the moment, which
apparently
sounds amazing. I'm so confused. You know, before the Brighton match, I'd have gone in full steam for tomorrow. We're going to win. After the Brighton match, it's giving me concerns. I've said it all along, haven't I? I'm sure you've all heard me say that. I think our defence, each player is fabulous. You know, I've got no complaints about the players. So really, I shouldn't be worried whether it's Calvert-Lewin, Beto, or anybody else. but we're still letting goals in, and I can't quite get my head around it. You know, I tend to blame the midfield more than the defence, because I think that's where battles are won and lost. But yeah, I feel I'm more concerned than I should be, because Everton aren't a great side. I mean, there's no getting away from that. They're not a great side, but they have had some good results, and they do apparently create a lot of chances, which we might see Vlachodimos come to the fore a little bit more, because he's not had much opportunity yet to show how good he is.
Yeah, and I think what Mohammed's saying here, Dino, about Sangare may not be available tomorrow. So kiss Cooper goodbye, he said at the end. I think he was missed last week. And if he's not in, let's get into the debate on the midfield, because a lot of people in the comments, especially after we did the preview video the other day, saying if he's not playing, it needs to be Ryan Yates who replaces him. There's a few saying Danilo, but Danilo didn't impress too much against Brighton. Didn't look fully match sharp to me, to be honest. Would you concur with those Ryan Yates guys who want him in, or would you go Danilo?
We've got 5 good midfielders, haven't we? Including Ryan Yates as the 5th. I don't think we missed Sangare as much as you think we did. He's been a bit up and down. You know, we've been we've given plaudits to Dominguez in previous games. Mangala, probably only one game Sangare's really stood out at all. I just think the thing that's swinging it is into the negative side is that all 3 midfielders had a bad game against Brighton, and that's the thing. I don't think that'll happen again. But yeah, I mean, we've got 5 good midfield's not the problem, or defense. We've got strength and depth and goalkeeper, all those departments. The thing that worries me is what I said on the last stream, pre-Brighton, the forward line. But Everton, they've got a goal in them, you know. Again, I've done a bit of research, and they score 1.5 goals on average away this season. So then, you know, you've got to look at that and think, well, where we're going to get 2 from. And my worry personally is, I hate saying it, but Murillo. I play Bolly and Niakate in the middle of the defence because of the aerial threat.
In a second. I do want to come on to that, but you're saying something opposite to what Ant's saying. And Dino's saying he doesn't think the midfield's a problem. So who's right here?
Well, me, obviously. That question. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, I'm wrong, Dino's right. Am I? Come on.
Yeah, okay, but he's saying...
The main reason I say that is because I feel that we have good defenders and we're letting in a lot of goals. So my brain says, well, it must be the midfield then. We're allowing teams to come through the midfield and attack our defenders more than they should do. However, I will say that we have had a number of mistakes at the back this season, and I think we do miss Sangare when he's not there. I appreciate the fact he's not blown us away. Absolutely, he's not been fantastic, but I think he does give us a certain amount of solidity. Although that should be easy to overcome, because as Dino quite rightly said, we've actually got 5 good midfielders. I personally wouldn't bring Ryan Yates in straight away. I'd play Danilo and then see how it goes. If he's having a bad game, we've got Ryan to come on and, you know, kick people basically. And I suppose it depends on the opposition's midfield as well. You know, you have to pick a midfield to combat the opposing midfield, don't you? I mean, it depends on what their midfield's going to be, and I don't know. As for regarding Murillo, I love Murillo. You've heard me say on other streams as well, he's going to be playing for Real Madrid or Man City. But I do understand what Dino's saying. Bolly, before he got injured or dropped or wherever it was, I think he was our best defender, our most solid defender. Yeah, Felipe. I'd love Felipe. People have forgotten about Felipe.
And I've been asked in the comments on one of the videos to remind you, because apparently you've mentioned it every stream for the last 3 weeks. Bolly is not injured; he's dropped. Apparently, you keep getting it mixed up. So I got some apologies. I can't remember.
He must have been injured. Why would you drop him? I don't understand it.
Well, we're about to debate that. I'm
talking about Murillo stepping out just for this game, because what they'll be doing is they'll be, you know, Dice, he knows Forest. He's down here often enough. You know, he'll know that we're weak from set pieces and dead ball plays. So he'll be pumping that ball into the box.
Yeah, but who's he pumping the ball into the box to?
One second, I want to come on to that. But Jimmy Bamadali, the legend, has gifted 5 memberships, and they have gone to. I can never see these fuckers, man. They've gone to 5 people. Don't flop. Congratulations, you are now a member. I can't see the other ones. They're not on my, there they are. Magic Tree.
Magic Tree.
Congratulations. Where else? There's 3 others of you. Make sure you thank him. I'm sure the guys in the chat will let us
They're
know.
not coming through on the chat, are they?
Yeah, for some reason they're not coming through.
Not on our chat.
Shout
Anyway.
out to our mods. Our mods are legends. Thank you so much, Jimmy. You're so generous, bro. Really do appreciate those gifted memberships.
Yeah,
but okay, so you're both saying, one of you, are you saying you'd both bring in Danilo? I want to come onto the defense in a second. I don't want to jump around.
Yeah.
Can you see a case for Ryan Yates? I guess is what I'm asking.
I think probably if it's not going well and the 3 midfielders aren't performing like they didn't against Brighton, in my opinion, I would bring Yates on. Yeah. I wouldn't start.
Same here. If we need a bit of stiffening up in the midfield, and yeah, obviously he's the man. I know as I was saying.
You've been reading this before you came on, then.
Yeah, but you guys say
He's
that. Let me just quickly answer Ben. If you click on the $sign under the chat, there's the option to join member, or you can write !member. It's only 99p for the silver membership. That gives you all the access to all the goals as they go in the watch alongs, etc. So that's how you do it, Ben. Look, the thing on Yates, I agree. I think he is an impact sub. But if you look back to this game last season, for me, it was one of the things that stood out. He came on as a sub, if I remember rightly, and he got the assist for Jono's second goal. So is this the type of game? And again, he did that in the home leg as well. Here goes the chat. They have a way.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night.
Yeah. Charlie Ollie's been he's been starting the weekend well. But yeah, I'm just saying, like in both these games, if you remember at the start of the season, I think you were there for the away game, weren't you? And if you was going about the long drive, the Everton one. The Everton
last year I was.
Yeah, Yates came on that as a sub, if I remember rightly, as well.
Yeah,
and he ended up.
Hey,
who's this? Who's this?
He says Mondo.
Spinny circle. The dial-up's kicking in. The dial-up's kicking in. The dial-up's kicking in. Here we go.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can see you.
How delayed am I?
See your shiny head.
I know. Sorry. How you doing, guys? I heard you shiny.
Has the makeup not turned up then, Ez?
No. Delayed again, mate. In traffic. It's busy around here, isn't it?
In traffic, as always. Don't cheer him on. Don't say hi to Ez. Don't say hi to Ez. There's Red Dog Legend Center. Ignore him. He's got crappy connections. It's his fault. It's his fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Ez, while we have you before the dial-up cuts out, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Not confident. I'll tell you what right now. I'm not confident that we're going to get a win out of it. I can see us getting a result, but I'm not confident about a win. But yeah, it's obviously I've not been on for a few weeks, and there's a few things that I want to kind of like get off my chest. But something that I heard earlier on this week, and it was from a Forest fan.
Come on, Ez. Come on.
Get it off your chest, bro. Go.
Come on, Ez.
All right. Okay. Do you think Cooper made a mistake with his lineup last week? Because if Sangare's not available, should we have gone to a back 3? And that was the argument that I heard earlier in the week. And I kind of thought to myself, maybe I would have done the same. And I think you just got the lineup wrong. And I think if you're not going to have Sangare play in that kind of role, in that kind of game, because they're going to have possession. Brighton are going to come at you. So you need a stronger defense. I liked that idea, and I probably would have done that. And I just wanted to know what your guy. I know it's going back a week, but I do want to give my reflections on last week. It was frustrating. It was really frustrating watching that game because I even when we scored the early goal, I didn't feel confident. And that's another point I want to make. How many points have we dropped from winning positions? It can't go on like that. And that's why I said what I said last week. And I haven't changed my mind. I still want Cooper out. I want a change of everything. I don't want to watch this boring bullshit football and be the most uninspiring team in the league. And that's what we are at the moment. So yeah, I hope that came across. I hope some of you agree with me. I don't care.
Standing ovation.
I certainly agree with
2 weeks, and that's all you've got. That's all you've got.
I had more.
Bro, you're not even delayed now.
Worrell, going in on Worrell.
Was that how delayed was it?
No, you're not delayed at all.
No.
What are you done?
No.
I'm on
You sound
my
like
phone,
a Dalek, but you're not delayed.
I know. I haven't got my sexy voice. Sorry, I haven't got my sexy settings.
Yeah.
And in the chat, they all want to know one thing. They don't care if you Cooper in or out. All they want to know is where are the trousers.
It took me 2 weeks to strip them off. That's why I've been so delayed getting out. I was just about to show you what I've got on now, but I won't.
I do disagree with you slightly, as on the formation against Brighton. I thought it was the right formation, the right lineup. They just played bad.
So you wouldn't have entertained the idea of going back 3 against Brighton, considering the way they play.
No.
Huh? And
yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, Ez, but I am so anti back 3, back 5 or whatever that it's hard for me to even contemplate it, if I'm honest. And last week we should have won that game. We should not have sat back. If you're going to sit back, yeah, have a back 5, but we shouldn't have been sitting back with a back 4. I mean, that team was made to attack, not to defend, and we should have attacked more.
As in the same respect, would you play back 3 against Everton because of they're going to be pumping it into the box?
So this is where I was going to lead on to with it. If Sangare isn't available again tomorrow, I would be tempted to do that, because I don't think the way Everton played against Man U last week, they should have won that game. They were far better. But I think their XG, talking FPL and XG, their XG was nearly 3 goals. You know, they missed some sitters last week. If they'd taken even one of those chances, it could have been a different game. Obviously, Man U score an absolute belter, you know, out of nowhere. I still think he shinned it, by the way, Garnacho. But, you know, Everton were the better team as far as I'm concerned last week. If they play anywhere like that against us, I think we're in trouble. I think we're in big trouble. So, I'm not looking forward.
Sorry, mate. I was saying, the thing is, my thought is that we're Nottingham Forest. We should play a certain way. They're Everton. They do play a certain way. And why should we be the ones to like back down and change the way we want to play for Everton? It's Everton. It's not Man City. It's Everton. You know, we should play. From our mind, is we should play our way and let them worry about us. That's the way I believe it should go. So we should be the team on the front foot. And we've said this pretty much all season. That's where I feel. Especially at home.
I hear what you're saying. And this is so the person who made this argument, he's a big FPLer. His name's Mark Southern, and he's a Forest fan as well. He'll be there tomorrow. But his argument was that, and I think it was almost a little dig at us, to be honest, even though he's not admitted to ever watching our channel. But I think it was because he said there's a group of Forest fans who seem to want to run before they can jump. And I don't think we're in a position to be playing that type of football yet, because we're in a transition. This is a transitional season as far as he's concerned. And he'd be happy with us just staying up. I'm not of that area. I want us to do better than just staying up. But at the same time, are we asking for too much? As far as fans, are we asking for too much?
No, it'd be a transitional season if we had the same side as we did last year, but we've strengthened. So no for me. This needs to be a better performance and a mid-table performance this season, which we won't get mid-table this year. Certainly not. The next few games leading up to when we either get a striker or when Taiwo comes back, which I don't think will be this season now. I just think we're going to be right down near the bottom, 15th, 16th, 17th, 14th at best.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate on this one, by the way. I'm not agreeing with what Mark Southern said. I just wanted to throw that argument in because he's of the opinion that we're not at that level yet. And yes, we have brought in better players. And he said it seems like these players were given to Cooper, and Cooper's been told, now improve straight away, and he's not in the position to do that. So that's his argument, that we need to be more patient as far as fans, as a club, and that we're not really in that position. But this is the perfect opportunity, obviously, this season with the teams that came up and how badly they're doing, is a perfect opportunity for us to play around, and it might be a more misses than hits. But eventually we'll get to where we want to get to. And he thinks we need to stick with it and let it ride out. That's what I just wanted to know. But I'm playing.
What does he think about the manager then, As what does he think about the manager? Does he think that, is he one that thinks Cooper can take us forward to win the league? Or does he think that, like a lot, there's a kind of mix, whether you're in Cooper in, Cooper out, there's a mix of people that think that Cooper's the man to take us forward. And then another percentage is saying he's took us as far as he can get. And I even hear, I love Cooper, but he's taken us as far as he can get. Where does he sit on that? And where do you sit on that?
Yeah, so he's of the opinion that Cooper is the right man and he needs to be given the time. So I'm not in that band. Like I said, I think Cooper, I agree with you. I think Cooper's taken as far as he can take us. I think we need another level of manager to take us to the next level. So I'm not with him on that one. I'm with you guys on this one. I think he's listen. I don't know why people seem to think that if you want a change of manager, it means you hate Cooper and you don't respect anything he's done in the last 2-3 years. We respect everything he's done, but you still need a change. And we're in a position now that we haven't been in 23, 24 years, and I'd rather solidify that position. And I don't think holding on to the manager is going to solidify that position. We'll stay up this season because teams are worse than us, but it doesn't mean progress in my eyes, and that's what I want to see. I want to see progress, and I want to see better football, mate. Last week, as soon as we conceded a goal, I want to know from Ant's point of view, being in the stadium, once we scored that goal, were you confident that we were going to go on and win that game? Because I wasn't watching it from home.
I thought we'd win 5-0 after we scored that first goal. But then after 2 minutes after that, I thought, shit, we're not going to win 5-0 because we've gone back to defending. Let me just clear something up. When I say we are Nottingham Forest, I'm not saying it in the Manchester United way or Manchester United way. What I'm saying is, whether people like this or not, Forest fans have always appreciated good football. Now, I've heard people say that Brian Clough's team was negative and all that lot. No. The flair players we had in that side were unbelievable, okay? So we've always expected a kind of, decent brand of football. And I'm still of that mind. I do not want to become, well, we have become the most boring side in the league. I'm actually embarrassed by Forest right now. I'm embarrassed because everybody knows we are the most boring side in the league. Watch any other podcast and they're just pushovers or they're boring. Don't want to talk about them.
Yeah,
that's correct. Not right. And I've said for a long time, look at our individual players. I believe we have the players in our squad to be at least a mid-table team. So for me,
this season,
right, a mid-table team this season. So if we're not looking like that's going to be the case, which at the moment we're not, and I hate saying it, but you have to look at the management. There is no option. What other option is there? So that's where I'm at. So I do believe that we should be playing progressive football, and I do believe that we can achieve mid-table with this squad of players, but not necessarily with this manager. And also, sorry, there's one more quick thing, and I'm sure everybody will agree on this. I get kind of sick and tired of every time I have a criticism of Steve, and I'll praise Steve Cooper when it's merited, but every time we have a criticism of Steve Cooper, we always have to start off with, look, we're not saying we hate him. We know we've kind of gone past that now. That season, that promotion season is now gone. Plus, we've had another season in the Premier League. We need to stop looking at those seasons and start looking at what's actually happening this season.
But so, I think, going back to my question. I'm sorry, under Cooper right now, were you confident once we went 1-0 up that we were going to win that game? Because I wasn't, and that's down to, like you say, going back to the management. It's down to the way we play. I don't feel confident. How many points have we dropped from going back to last season, how many points have we got?
Bournemouth last season at home. Remember that one?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a one-off.
Second half, no.
So it's not a one-off. So it's systematic now, and that's how it makes me feel when I'm watching them. But I don't feel confident that we're going to hold on to
I understand that. Like I say, when we scored it, I thought it was going to be 5-0. But 2 minutes after, I thought, oh no, what am I thinking? Look at us.
Yeah, it's more relief. It's more relief after the final whistle, isn't it? That's what it is. As a Forest fan.
Yeah,
in the last 2 years, it's relief.
And as has been quoted many times, I think we actually end up having the second most losing games from winning positions last season, and we've already this season lost 11 points from winning positions. There's something wrong there. There's something very, very
mentality
wrong
issue, isn't it? It's a mentality.
Yeah, it's mentality.
Of course.
Look, what I'd say, right, is I can't see it happening this weekend. Like, pragmatically, I don't even think it's that right. I mean, ask me after the game tomorrow. I may be in a completely different mood. I don't know. But practically speaking, with Fulham on Wednesday and then Wolves on Saturday, to shift the manager in and out, you're asking a lot. But then you can argue, shove Stephen Reed in charge, get whoever. I mean, they're all talking Lopetegui, aren't they, in the papers? As the one. But what I will say is Cooper knows what he's doing. Like, the pre-match yesterday.
Press conferences.
Yeah, the press conference. As soon as that press conference, before the press conference aired, I was like, he is going to send a double message to the fans and subliminally to Marinakis. And that's exactly what he did, saying that you'd have to get me out of here on my hands and knees, basically saying I'm Forest till I die, kind of thing. That was a direct message to the fans and to Marinakis saying, if you do anything, I am making sure you are known as the bad guy. You know, it reminds me of, I was speaking to someone about this earlier. I don't know who they are. It reminds me of Gladiator. I think Gladiator is Cooper's favorite film of all time. Because what said in Gladiator? Win the mob over, you win Rome. Rome is the mob. Yeah. Maximus Meridius Decimus becomes the gladiator.
Father of that, we know the speech.
Takes an empire. Father to a murdered son. Husband to a murdered wife. And he will get his vengeance in this life or next. It's Cooper's favorite film, 100%. So what does he do? He aims at the mob yesterday, and I mean that with all due respect. I'm just paraphrasing it to match Gladiator, and he's got the mob on his side, and he's reversed this on Marinakis. It's genius from Cooper. You have to give him credit on that. He knows how to play the microphone when he needs to.
He does, but he's kicking the can down the road, isn't he? That's all he's doing.
Can I just add to that as well, that I love the way Cooper talks about Forest. You know, great. Your manager's saying, I love this club, the history, you know, I love the people. Of course. You're going to lap that up, aren't you, as a fan? You know, you don't want your manager saying, I'm not that bothered. But you're absolutely right. And what a lot of the mob, which using that as an analogy for the film, don't get excited.
Oh, they will.
The problem I see with the mob is they don't seem to realise, and I can guarantee you this, guys, I can guarantee you this, if by some chance he ends up with, say, Crystal Palace, he will be saying exactly the same thing for that club. He will say what a fantastic club it is. It's the best fans in the world and everything. Because that's the way that you progress in the game when you're at a certain level.
This is what I don't understand. Are people that people are that fickle. That's why we got away with that virus over last years. Because people are that stupid. Somebody says something. Shut up. No, let me say. I'm on my soapbox now. Somebody says something and you take it hook, line, and sinker. People are that stupid. Yes, as soon as he gets his next job, he's not going to give up. Is he going to say, "Oh, I've just left my hometown club, you know, the club that I love, to come here"? He's not going to give a shit about that. Yeah, the best club in the world. So don't buy into all that shit, you muppets. Yeah, it's nice to hear it.
True.
But no, it's not.
Don't be fooled by it.
No, don't be fooled.
We all have players that kiss the badge and that, and then 6 weeks later they fucked off to Man U. You know,
when he came in, I was like, this guy's a breath of fresh air. He's changed. Yeah. He's talking like a fan. But now it's gone a bit stale, mate. So either
it's like a breath of fresh fart now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wolverine, I agree with you. Yeah. This week would be a nightmare to bring any new manager in. And I still stick to what I said last stream, and that is, I am not a fan of Cooper. You all know that. But to get rid of him before Christmas is crazy for me.
Hang on, you lot have always been going on about new manager bounce. What are you on about? If he were to lose his job on Saturday,
you don't believe in the new manager bounce.
There will be a new manager bounce. Be, a Stephen Reid new manager bounce. Anything, honestly. The football hasn't changed. The only time the football changed was when Stephen Reid was in charge, and then we ran with that for a season.
I'd have to say that would be my only caveat, that Stephen Reid comes in as a temporary manager.
I don't know where all this Stephen Reid fucking love comes from. I really don't. How many games did he manage us for in the Championship? Was it one? He's managed one game.
He was the one that changed the tactics, turned it around. He was the one that changed the tactics and turned it around.
Yeah, but anybody would have done that, because the tactics we were using were absolutely dire. And we were
hold on. Magic Tree.
If you're 1 point from 7 games, of course you're going to change the tactics.
Magic Tree, it's not the beat up Cooper hour. Fuck me, guys. It's what's being discussed. It's like, again, this goes back to Exhibit A. We're not allowed to talk about Cooper and what's going on in the news. Come on, man.
And let me just clarify. This is my pent up anger for the last few weeks that I haven't got up. So I'm kind of like getting it off my chest now.
He's catching up.
So it's not all time relevant, but I don't change my opinion. I felt like at the end of last week's game, I jumped. I put a couple of comments on player ratings, and I said Cooper out. And I thought about it all week, and I wondered to myself, was I being too harsh, or was it something that I've been feeling for a while, and I just had to say it? Yeah, it's not changed. I've not changed my mind over a week, because going back to his press conference, you summarized it perfectly, Wolverine. That's exactly what he did. He basically was turning the crowd and covering his own back. But honestly, Forest fans, if we do get a new manager, and it's not going to be because of us, who the fuck are we? We're nobody. It's not going to be because of us. As long as it's not Martin O'Neill, bless him, I don't think he step foot anywhere near us. But if we do get a new manager and you guys don't back him, then you're the fickle ones, and you're the ones to blame. If you don't back a new manager, whoever it might be, then it's all on you, because end of the day, we have backed Cooper, and he can't.
The one thing I will add, what my question back for those who, and if people want to believe it was heartfelt and everything from yesterday and not him gladiatoring up, my question would be simply this. Let's say Pep leaves Man City tomorrow and the old Arab boys call Cooper's agent on Monday. Do you think Cooper would say no to going to Man City, for example?
Alternatively, Pep's been said that if he's going to manage in League One, he'll manage them in League One. Do you really think that's going to happen? As soon as they get their points deduction next year,
I don't care about Man City.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is he'll be off like a shot. That's life.
Can I just say something?
Let me just finish my point.
I thought you finished. Normally, when people stop, it means you're finished. But carry on.
This freaking bold wanker, like the ref last week, interrupted me first. Anyway,
boy, careful.
My point here is the fact that he said you'd have to take me out of here on my hands and knees. As I said, if Man City came in for him on Tuesday, is he going to be leaving on his hands and knees? Probably, because he'll be begging for that job. Who wouldn't be? Would you? I would never hold it against him. So for me, that's the point. It's just to get the crowd on side, to say to Marinakis, good luck. If you're thinking of getting rid of me, this is the backlash you're going to have. Yeah, and he's just, exactly. If I'm Marinakis, I'd be annoyed at that interview thinking, who do you think you are?
Please, sir, can I go, sir? Can the bold wanker go?
No, I kind of like you still. So
at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, like in anything. And he's not performing right now. I don't care. He's underperforming compared to where we should be in the squad. So if he turns it round and does well, hail Cooper. But if he doesn't, hail somebody else. I don't care. I'm a Nottingham Forest fan. I don't care.
Hell Caesar. Hell Caesar.
But I would still wait. The only caveat of me waiting for January is the striker situation. There's two caveats. One is the striker situation. The other one is the fact that he ain't got a fucking clue what he's doing.
Can I just say, by the way?
Yes, Anne, your turn.
Yeah, can I say? I actually believe Steve Cooper does love this club. It's not love in this case doesn't have to be exclusive. You can have more than one love, right? He can love Swansea or wherever he's from, and he can love Forest as well. And also, of course, he loves the fans. Listen, when I go around the City Ground, occasionally somebody will come up to me and say, "Oh, Pan," and I think, "Oh, that's nice." He's got 30,000 people on occasion singing his name. Of course, he loves the fans. You know, why
and you do have 30,000 people singing your name, man. What's going on, man?
Can I answer to this? This is really good comment. We win tomorrow. It's all forgotten. No, it's not. It's kicking the can down the road. If he wins the next 10, then it might be all forgotten.
Then it might
but
be forgotten,
it's not good enough. It's not good enough in terms of the squad we've got against what we're producing on the pitch.
With that. I disagree with that, with what you're saying.
How can you disagree with that?
Because what I'm saying now is, and I've said it all week, it's these next 3 games. For me, this is a batch of games. Yeah. If he goes and beats Everton tomorrow and then he gets 4 points out of the next 2, yes, 100%. All is forgotten. Let's move forward. Let's move up and see what happens. If we draw or lose tomorrow, can you really see a win away from home at either Fulham or at Wolves? Then he's really in trouble for me. I think tomorrow's the pivotal one. And I kind of think maybe we'll win.
By the way, can I let our viewers and chat into a little behind the scenes secret? Before we came on, I said, "Hey chaps, let's not turn this into a talk all about Cooper."
Blame the brown man. Blame the brown man.
But he's the head of the team that's underperforming, so it's bound to come around to Cooper.
Because basically, I think we're all on the same page. You know, we don't think he's going to be the man to. In a nutshell, we don't think he's going to be the man to turn the situation around. We'd like to play more flow and attacking football because we believe we have a squad capable of doing that and certainly finishing mid-table. And thank you, Steve, for all your work. We absolutely adore you and always will. But make way.
Go on,
that's it.
No, I was going to say, okay, so I mean, just with Dino's argument of waiting till after Christmas, for me, it makes sense. If you're going to make a change, make it now. Give that manager enough time to understand what he needs in January in that transfer window. Why are you going to bring him in the 1st of January and then expect him to, 1, analyze that squad, and 2, be able to know what he's going to be bringing in and what plays he needs to improve that squad? I would bring him in earlier. I would make the change. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks.
Happy clapper kickback.
What 2 wins and it's forgotten, mate. Look, the only.
By the way, has everybody noticed Ezra's new screen name?
Ez Vents.
Well, so I can't remember who put it in the chat. They said Ez Rants doesn't rhyme, so I said, "Oh, we'll make it Ez Vents." And
Events. Love it.
Okay. What I would agree with you on is the longer you wait, the less managers are available in the pot, and then you end up with the Sam Allardyce situation. So I get what you're saying on that. All right, let's move away from Cooper, man. I can't deal with talking about him, especially after what John said yesterday. But if you know, you know. Anyway, let's move on. I want to get back to this back 3, back 4 debate because we didn't finish it because our brown little friend interrupted us, right?
Right.
Yeah. The chat have said 32% would actually go for a back 3. 68% would go for a back 4. Ez, you're saying back 3, but who's your back 3? You bringing Worrell back in?
No. Why do you have to ruin the stream? See, that was a real reaction. That was a real reaction.
He just knows all your trigger words, Ez.
Push the button, man. I just push the buttons. That's all I do.
Yeah. It has to be Willy Bolly, hasn't he? Big Willy. It has to be Big Willy back in that back 3, mate. Because I'd like to see either Niakate or Murillo in the middle of that back 3 and actually stepping out with that ball, knowing you've got 2 defenders behind you. I'd I just like to see that work, and they're going to be throwing balls into the box, no doubt about it. I don't see what we're going to be doing against them, because I don't think Chris Wood can occupy what's his name, one of the big ears, and
Tarkowski.
Tarkowski and Brampthwaite. I think they're very good centre back period. Yeah, he's
a really good player.
Taiwo would occupy them, but Wood ain't going to occupy them. So the ball's just going to keep it back.
Ez, would you not play Origi? He's got previous against Everton.
That's 10 minutes.
You know what? I would be more tempted to start with Origi than with Wood tomorrow. It would just give us hopefully a different style of play, because Wood, my main criticism of Wood, one, he doesn't jump for the ball. He never jumps for the ball. Sorry, I've gone up on one. He never jumps for the ball. He can't hold on to the ball, and he never brings others into play. So unless you're putting it on a plate for him, like I think Elanga put a beautiful ball, or crossing it right to his head, then he's of no use really for me. I need somebody who's. I'm not saying Origi's more mobile, but I think he might give us a slightly different way of playing. But I'd definitely be looking. I argue because I'd actually go 4-2-3-1 tomorrow, so I wouldn't play back three at all.
False nine, and false nine.
No, I don't think I'd go false nine against them.
We've already got a false nine. His name's Chris Wood.
That's not a false nine, man. That's a fake nine. There's a difference.
Fake nine.
Wants to play with the fake nine today.
We're at home, aren't we? I don't know. And I'm with Ant. Part of me's with Ant on this one. We're Nottingham Forest, so we should be playing a more attacking style at home against a fucking Everton. Yeah. Sorry for my language. I'm sorry.
You know what? It's actually.
I'd actually go 4-2-3-1 now. Hudson-Odoi's back. I'd actually go 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, actually, I would on this occasion, because I know we've talked about MGW in that number 10 position, but with two straight, whether they play a defensive midfielder or an attacking midfielder behind the striker, they go 4-4 defensive midfield.
Yeah.
The reason that they've stopped doing 4-4-2 in the Premier League in the majority is because of that the lines, the space between the lines. So if you've got a defensive midfielder and an attacking number 10, then it normally breaks them quite a lot. So I would do that personally. I would agree with that tomorrow. And it's tomorrow, not Sunday.
Sharky with the £2 saying anyone with the brain workout, Steve Cooper is done. Thank you so much, Sharky, as well. Okay, I think, just my last point on Cooper, I think the formation will tell us everything. If he does go back three, he's scared for his job. But then if he goes 4-2-3-1, which Ezra just copying what I said on the preview video, because that's what I would do. Because I think, can we talk some positives here? I think Hudson-Odoi, in his limited game time he's had, has been brilliant. I think he's had one bad game. The rest,
excellent.
I think the way he pushes defenders back is something we haven't got in any other player. And I kind of would nearly include Morgan Gibbs-White in that. He's the only other one I feel who can do that, kind of dribble with the ball. But at least Callum Hudson-Odoi dribbles with the ball, not trying to do FIFA skills while doing it. And I just wish he would get a run in the team. So if he is fit, I would 100% start him for me.
Me too.
Yeah. They don't counter. Everton don't counter-attack. So as long as we're on the front foot, we should win. We should win. Yeah. I don't think we will be. I've just got a horrible feeling that it will be damage limitation.
I know it was a bit of a delayed reaction. It was a bit of a delayed reaction from MG Dub. I gave him a bollocking a few weeks ago, and he only came through last week. But he's got an.
He's got your dial-up. That's why he's got your dial-up.
That's exactly it.
He's only just got it.
He's only just got my message. But he got a goal and an assist last week. His confidence should be high, even though we didn't get the result. From a personal point of view, his confidence should be up there. You know, I would play through the middle and I loved Hudson-Odoi playing on the left, cutting in against Ashley Young.
Yeah,
all day long. All day long.
Elanga will absolutely murder him with his pace.
You say that, Anne, but he's not really. What can I say with Elanga? I feel Elanga's a 15-minute man. I really do. At the start, he comes onto the pitch, bursts with energy, and then he just doesn't take his man on anymore, especially when he's had him booked. Those two matches really annoyed me, where he got the full back foot, and we didn't target him. It's simple
No,
football, man.
I can see that argument, mate. But I still think that he'd rip him to absolute shreds.
Yeah, agreed.
Isn't that down to
Yeah,
tactics?
yeah.
As a manager, would you not be making sure that that ball was going to Alanga at every single opportunity and he was attacking that fullback? And that's the manager.
And Hudson-Odoi, both of them down that
You can blame
side.
the players all you like.
Do we need to worry about Dominguez? Because he had this whirlwind start and we were all waxing lyrical about him. But he's, I don't know, there's something not quite right the last few games.
Then if he plays
which is his true level? Is it the one we saw at the beginning, or is it?
He was kind of thrown straight in, really, wasn't he? He didn't, he's not. Steve Cooper didn't bed him in like he likes to bed in players over like months and months and months and months. So, I mean, he was a fairly early starter. I just think that it's a new country. It will be frigging freezing tomorrow. Maybe you play Yates because you can't play Brazilians in this weather, man.
I would be so tempted to play Yates tomorrow because his two best games last season, he came on as sub both times, but he changed the game in both ties against Everton last season. I think he likes playing against them. If I play 4-2-3-1 tomorrow and Sangare's fit, I would genuinely be tempted. I know this sounds a little bit backwards, but I would genuinely be tempted to play Sangare and Yatesy in that too, and not have that luxury player, because at the moment I think in a two until Danilo's back to speed or Dominguez is a little bit further along the line, I don't trust that we've got that attacking player is going to be beneficial to us. I'd rather have two solid defensive midfielders in 4-2-3-1. Go on.
As when we've seen Dominguez and Danilo, when we've seen the best of them, they've been going forward, haven't they?
Yeah.
Both of them. At Brighton, it wasn't like that at all. They were quite deep, weren't they? They weren't pushing forward and breaking those lines.
No.
So I think they're almost not really box to boxes. They're almost attacking, aren't they? They're almost the. What's your word for it? Attacking eights. Attacking eights. Yeah, they're attacking eights.
Yeah. I that's another game I would have been tempted to play Yates and Go on.
I was just going to say something that some people have put in the comments over the week is exactly what Ant said. He started like a house on fire, and then he kind of gone into his shell. And someone a couple I saw in the comments this week on the videos was saying that as Dominguez been reined in a little, that high press, because he's known as king of high press.
Yeah, he is.
Has he kind of caught the virus and been told we don't want the high press, we want the the block out of the middle of the pitch, surrender possession, low block stuff? And is that something that's maybe hindered him? If it is, I don't know if it has or not, but is it something that's potentially hindered him?
I'd be furious if he was being reined in. I'd be absolutely furious if he's been reined in by the manager. That would be it, as far as I'm concerned, because you're quite right. In Italy, he was known as the king of the press. And when we first saw him, he looked like that, and it was like, wow, what a player. How can we swap him for Freuler? But just lately, he has. Now I'm sort of thinking about it a little bit more with what you've just said. It does appear that maybe he's under instructions. I hope not, because that's a real black mark for Steve Cooper for me. If
but the evidence is there, Ant, isn't it? On the pitch.
I know it is. I know. But I know.
What do you think, Dino?
And after the mistake,
what was the question? Sorry.
About has he been reined in, Dominguez?
I think generally any attacking prowess and nous that we've got has been reined in at some point. That's why we sit deep. That's why we go 1-0 up against Brighton and sit back. And it's alien, and we've discussed this stream after stream after stream. It's alien to players like, Danilo. Mangala even plays further up. I've said the last stream, further up for Belgium. MGW chasing back. It's just alien to them all. We've bought an attacking side, but we don't attack that much.
I think what Magic Tree's saying is spot on. That pass did knock him back. I mean,
Yeah,
if,
but also being
if it
hooked at half
has,
time. It was hooked.
What? Yeah, I know, but one bad pass and all of a sudden you're a crap player. Come on, these are supposed to be
if what I'm saying,
professional,
if it
highly
has,
No,
paid.
that
no,
shows a lot about his mentality.
Huh?
If it has, that shows a lot about a weak mentality. from
Exactly,
him.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
No, I hope not, because like I say, anybody can make a bad pass. I mean, bloody hell.
Yeah, it's
But
funny.
didn't
When
he get hooked straight after? Right?
Yeah,
Didn't he
he
get
got hooked
hooked
at
straight
half
after?
time.
Did he get hooked
He
Yeah,
only got
half
hooked.
time.
So how's that going to be a positive impression on him? You know, he did make a mistake. He knows he made a
Did
mistake.
Danilo come on for him? Did Danilo come on
He
for
must
him?
have
Or...
done.
Yeah, it was
Because
Danilo.
Cooper does like Danilo. He does like him. So, you know,
So
maybe he was just looking for the first excuse he had, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yep, shit pass. Come on, Danny, get on that pitch, you know. And then he's been in the side since. So, not that I have anything against Danilo. I absolutely love the guy, by the way.
Yeah, but if we're being objective about it, Danilo hasn't been great this season, pre and post injury for me. Again, I think he's been
He hardly
played a
seems
bit
to have
too
played,
deep.
though, Wolfie. He hardly seems to have played. You
Yeah,
know.
I know, but he
He's
played
only
what,
just
3
come off
games?
injury, Danilo.
Yeah, but even the
but
3 games
before the
before.
injury, before the injury, he looked like he was carrying an injury, and since he's been back, he looks like he hasn't got that match sharpness yet. So maybe
Yeah,
he has been rushed. And I think there is danger of us doing that. And it's hard to read Cooper. He either brings a player back in too soon, or he takes so long procrastinating on whether he should bring him in or not. But we probably lose the best of ability of that player. But I think Danilo hasn't looked right all season. You're right. I think before the injury, he did just look like he was injured. He looked like he was carrying something, and I don't think he looks right now. Tomorrow is probably not the type of game where he would excel in, apart from if we're weakening in the second half and we go at them. But I would be more pragmatic tomorrow. If Sangare is available, I'd make sure I'd probably, even if you play it in a 2 or a 3 in midfield, I'd probably have Yatesy and Sangare in there together.
I really do believe that.
I was going to divert there.
I do believe that those two that we're talking about, Danilo and Dominguez, we're seeing them a lot on our sort of 35, 40 yards out from our goal.
Yeah.
And I think their best play, their best work, certainly last season with Danilo, is done from 40 yards from their goal. That's the best thing. So whether that's them mentally or whether it's got to be tactics for me. It's got to be. There can't be any other explanation. There can't be.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
change something.
On, you want to say?
No, I'm just going to say again. No offense, Ez, but you talk about being pragmatic against fucking Everton at the City Ground.
I know
that ain't gonna get us up that table. If you're playing pragmatic against Everton at City Ground, who are you not going to play pragmatically against? We should go out all out attack and smash the fucker tomorrow. Sorry, people. Smash the smash them tomorrow.
Smash the like while you're at it. Smash the like.
We should have been pragmatic last week, and we didn't. You know, we should have been pragmatic last week. We against a poor Brighton side who've got so many injuries, and we made them look good, and we gave them the ball, which we knew they were going to have anyway. But we weren't set up for it. We were set up to almost in an attacking shape, but knowing that we're going to face defense. And I think that's going to be the same tomorrow, mate. If we cannot hold on to the ball and keep it forward, then we're going to be facing barrage after barrage crosses. And end of the day, I don't want to lose the game. I don't think we're going to win tomorrow, but I don't want to lose the game.
You've hit nail on the head, though, Ez. You said we were set up in an attacking way, but we didn't attack. So that doesn't mean against Everton, you can't set up in an attacking way and actually attack. If you're putting attacking players on the pitch, attack. Don't put attacking players on the pitch and defend.
And I've said this beforehand. We look so much better when we attack than when we try to defend. So much better. I know it sounds obvious, but we make so many mistakes in our half. It's ridiculous. Hence the goal.
It's not working. Whatever we're doing, it's not working. Have you seen that?
We've even bought an attacking centre-back in Murillo. We've even bought a attacking centre-back in Murillo.
Yeah, but it's, my biggest frustration, boys, it's the passing. It still looks like freaking under 7 style passing. You watch the training ground videos and they're pinging it around in a stupid little tiny goals. Yeah. Why does it change when it comes to the weekend, man? Where does it
I don't know.
change? Why?
But it's so poor. It's so poor. We look panicked every time we're on the ball. We look panicked, and I know I'm going up against probably the premier team in this league. But when I was watching the Man City Liverpool game earlier, and they just look so comfortable. I watched Bernardo Silva, who's probably the classiest player in this league, and they never looked rushed on the ball. We always look rushed. We always look panicked. We don't look in control of anything. So I don't know. It's the way we play and it's the way we're set up, because in that second half against Brighton, when it went down to 10 men, we were all up in their faces. So those idiots, and they're not in the chat today for some reason, those idiots who say it's not the manager, it's the players. How are the players going to be sitting back if they're not told to sit back? And why do they press in the second half when they're down to 10 men? Who told them to go and press in the second half? Of course, it's down to managers. Get your heads out
There's a couple of points here, Ez. I made the point last week that I was sitting there at the game, and De Zerbi was like a fucking madman, up and down. He was nearly on the pitch most of the game. Never sat down, pointing, shouting. And I looked over at Steve Cooper, and he was hands in pocket, just standing there. Now, it may or may not matter. I don't know. I'm not a professional footballer, though I have the talent, obviously. But to me, it looked like De Zerbi was motivated and organising his side, and Steve Cooper wasn't doing anything. He's just leaving him out there to do it. Yeah. And that was kind of a bit worrying. And the other point, another quick point. Somebody in the chat put about they've got to leave their hearts out on Saturday. Last week, a lot of those players, to me, didn't look like they were putting it all in. And that is a very worrying sign. And I've said before that Steve Cooper has got a reputation of bringing up young players, especially English ones, improving them, etc., etc. However, the likes of Dominguez, Sangare, and players like that, near Carter, I could go through the whole team basically. Perhaps don't know who the fuck Steve Cooper is.
Yeah,
they don't know who he is.
Sorry, you were going to say something else. Do you want to?
No, go on, jump in.
And this myth of him bringing in, when has he last brought in a young player? Yeah. When has he ever entertained anybody from the under-23s? It's all media bullshit. And he said it again in the presser about his, looking at youth. He doesn't. Right. I just want to answer to this one, Emma. Spurs. Sorry, Anne. I know that you're... Now, I love Ange Postecoglou. If anybody likes the high press, you will know that I wax lyrical about him. But he has got some major flaws. And one of his major flaws is, yes, we play with a high line. They're on the halfway line. We'll get broke behind. But that's who we are and that's how we'll stay. But at least they attack and they've got an identity. And it goes back to, we don't have an identity and we don't attack. So, we do I'd rather take somebody like that that's got an identity to attack. Pardon?
So we do have an identity. It's called being boring. You ask all the Premier League fans our identity, and they'll say you're boring.
I can pretty much tell you every single identity of all the other 19 teams in the league, but I can't do my own team.
Yeah.
What's the play style
of the team, Dino?
Maybe me, because I'm king of the high press and a bold bastard, apparently.
Yeah.
Two things that I knew anyway.
All right, I want to move on to the subject I really don't want to talk about.
Cooper.
No, even more so than Cooper.
Oh, I can't believe you spent an hour talking about him again. Oh, go on.
Who starts up front?
I feel better.
Sorry, my fault.
Yeah.
Who starts up front, boys? Chat. Would you start Origi or would you start the other guy? Over to you, Dino. Kick us off on this.
I'd start the lad out the under-23s.
Song
with Origi on the bench, and I'd drop Wood altogether after last week's effort or lack of effort that he put in. I'd drop him altogether. You did ask, and I did say.
Okay, boys, who's next?
I'd start Wood.
Normally, and now none of you want to talk. Go on.
No.
You go.
I'd start Wood.
You go.
And I'd bring Origi on with 20 minutes to go because Everton are shit scared of Origi. His record against them is insane. So Yeah, I'd start Wood and bring Origi on. It's like I've said this before. It's like picking between shit and spew, isn't it? It's not great.
As
I'd bench Wood. In fact, I'd make a bench out of Wood and leave him there and start with Origi. That's as much use as he's going to be to us tomorrow.
But Origi's been so crap for the last 10 years.
But exactly. But he's either going to be worse than Wood, and then we know exactly where we stand, because I think we do know where we stand with our strikers. No one, no party. That's our frag situation. No one, no party. So we need to seriously address that in January, and it has to be. We have to start obviously thinking about it right now, but there needs to be serious improvement there. But I start Origi and make a bench out of Wood.
I'd go a Song. I'll be honest with you. Like, as much as Wood annoys the crap out of me, I can't see Origi doing any better. Therefore, why not just chuck a kid in and just see what happens? I know Sai's saying in there he's crap in the other 23s.
Best of a bad choice, maybe. You know,
I can't say a Song because I don't know him. I don't know.
No, I don't know. Simon's just said he's not very good. There you go.
I've seen a couple of games of him.
We've got him in our second string. Doesn't mean he's any good.
But he's got to be better than Wood. It's got
exactly.
I'm measuring Wood on his last game, which was shocking. It's one of the most shocking performances I've seen from any professional footballer at this level. That game against Brighton, bad.
Still our top scorer.
I know, but he's it reminds me of. I'm sorry to go back to it, but it reminds me a little bit of Steve Cooper. Bad.
So he's in
goals. Everything's all right again.
He's in the senior team.
Not all right. I never said it was all right.
I see where you're going with that, Dino. That makes sense. That kind of does make sense,
doesn't it? Yeah.
In a sadistical way, makes sense.
I know it's bad, but like somebody said earlier, a win tomorrow, everybody's all Cooper again. Well, a goal tomorrow by Wood, it still doesn't persuade me that he's a long-term striker for me at all, unless he does it over a consistent period of time and scores 1 in 2 or 1.5 in 2.
Chris Wood.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about Chris Wood.
I know. I've had a glass of wine, Ant, to be fair.
to be honest, what Cluffy here, God rest him, is saying, I think he actually makes a cracking point. He makes a cracking point. And Sir Clough, you are right. When your job is on the line, you're not going to throw an inexperienced youngster. That would be crazy. You've convinced me with that one line. It's what I love. When someone presents you a cracking bit of evidence or a point like that, you have to hold your hands up. Say he's right. He's right.
Yeah, I've seen some in the chat saying Elanga and Hudson-Odoi up front. I know what you mean because there's some pace there, but you miss the wide players then, and we're going to play ultra narrow, and it's just going to invite them up the wings. So I do get that, but not for me. Not for me. They're more lethal on the wings, especially against a 38-year-old defender.
Dino, would you false 9?
But who's our false 9 though?
That's the question.
It's somebody who can't hit a barn door from 2 feet, isn't it? MGW.
Yeah.
In open play, I mean, he's got a couple of penos, but none of them are good. None of them are good at striking, are they? As forwards, we've just not got good forwards, and we've just got to have to, bundle along till hopefully January. Hopefully January.
You know what? The more
the people chant for Aguilera, we are clutching at straws. The lad out of 23s and Aguilera, we're just clutching at straws because we are weak up front, big time.
Go on, Ant.
No, I was just going to say, the more you lot are talking, the more I'm convinced Wood's going to have a cracker of a game tomorrow.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I'm feeling more positive. I know it sounds crazy, but I just feel like this would be, how I said Forest will do a Forest last week. This is also Forest doing a Forest when you think they're going to lose and suddenly something comes out of left field. So I am feeling a little more confident in a weird way. This has helped me. I don't think it's helped
I will help the situation.
Huh?
Let me help the situation. Chris Wood, you are the worst striker that's ever graced this club. And that's saying something with terrible strikers that we've had over the years.
3.
So
I'm just adding up the goals he's getting. The more you criticise him, the more goals
you're not fit to wear the shirt. I do not want to see you even on the bench again. So prove me wrong tomorrow.
Steady on, Dino. He's not getting 6. Come on.
He could have had 6 in one game. He missed so many, didn't he? He scored a couple and then missed like 4 more.
Yeah.
I am genuinely feeling confident now. I think we're going to smash it 4-0.
And you don't even drink, man.
Yeah, but no, seriously, because I don't know why I always have these psychological wars when it comes to Forest. I like overthink it too much. I do feel when it feels like we're not going to win, we will win. There, I've said it. We're winning. We're 4-0. Clip me 4-0. No jinxering crap in the chat. 4-0. Done. I'm convinced.
Our job is done.
I'm convinced.
Our work is done.
Donna, what are you saying for tomorrow scoreline?
Me.
Well, your name is Ant.
Yeah, no, I was gurgling at the time. Right now, I honestly haven't got a clue because I don't know what teams are going to be playing. I mean, I know what teams are going to be playing. I know it's Forest Everton, but I don't know the makeup of those teams. I don't know the makeup or the formation of those teams. So I'm going to stick by my club and say 2-1 to Forest.
Okay. Esmondo?
Mate, I'm not expecting more than a draw, so I'm going 1-1, unless something changes drastically. 1-0. I want to see the lineup and see. I need to see if the lineup's going to. I know, but I need to see if that lineup's going to inspire me. I don't think it's going to, but we'll see. Go on, Dino.
Yeah. 1-0, same. 1-0.
Chat was 4-0. It's 4-0.
Salenzi, yeah, he's as bad as Salenzi.
Nah, that's going far, man. That's going far, man.
It's not. It's not.
I like Salenzi.
It's not, honestly.
At least he came with.
Find me a worse striker. Oh, Bentner.
Not really.
Nicholas Bentner.
Oh, Bentner was bad.
Lord Bentner.
He was Bentner. Lord Bentner. He was bad. He was bad.
Don't forget,
but he was made worse by the fact he had this massive ego. That's what made him seem even worse.
Slightly better than Bentner.
Guys. He should have won the Ballon d'Or that year. We stayed up by 2 goals on goal difference. He scored 2 goals for us. So Lord Bentner did what he needed to do for us.
Sorry, Ballon d'Or or Ballon d'Or?
Good point.
I won't have anything said against him.
Somebody put Neil Shipley. God, he was.
Oh,
shit,
no.
No, there's another one here. Look, did he ever start for us a full game?
I remember him.
No, he didn't.
He came with his big. Oh, he's a great striker. He was range. He was tall, wasn't he, and fast. And oh my God, what failure!
Oh, he wasn't fast. He was tall, but he wasn't fast.
Chat, who's the worst striker you've ever seen personally? You're allowed to put one. You're allowed to put one. Or Origi.
Nobody remembers Gary Bannister. We signed Gary Bannister in the Premier League.
From Sheffield Wednesday,
obviously.
Yeah, we signed
Yeah.
It was like that scene out of Mike Bassett where he's right.
First striker Brian Clough signed.
Where he signs Benson Hedges. That's what it was.
Barry Butlin.
You know what? Jason Lee's not as bad as everyone makes him out to be.
No,
right?
No, he isn't.
I mean, he had some horrific shots.
Who?
But he scored a few. Jason Lee.
Come on, there's a name.
He was shit, man.
Gary Bull. Yeah.
Nah,
Gary Bull.
I'm not saying he was good, man. I'm not saying he was
Steve
good.
Bull's cousin. Steve Bull's cousin. We were told he's Steve Bull's cousin.
Scott Dobie was bad as well.
Scott Dobie, my God.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, man.
Yeah, Scott
Dobie. It was Bull.
Yeah, that's one for you, Anne. This is bad. I don't want to talk about tomorrow's game because it's just dull and it's just 2 dull Premier League sides.
Some more of these terrible strikers. I'm loving this. It's just like Gary Bull.
So many. You forget half of them. So many. Forget half of them. Seriously. Now, you know the one, I forgot his name now.
I'm really watching Barry Bull.
Is Martin in the chat? I always complain to Martin about him. What was that lanky prick called up front for us about 15, 20 years ago?
Did he play centre-back as well?
Grant Holt.
Yeah.
I hated him, man.
I like Grant.
He was
Grant.
He was strong, he could hold up the ball, Grant Holt. And then he went up to Norwich. He went crazy at Norwich, didn't he? Remember?
Bob Risorio. Oh, my God.
He was the captain, wasn't he, of Italian side? Who was it? Fiorentina?
Who, Rosario?
Rosario was
Who?
the captain of an
I
Italian
can only
side.
remember him. I can only remember him
He
at
scored
Coventry.
7 in the pre-season in one game, and then was shit.
But Barry.
No.
Greg Halford
The
was
story I heard-
Halford was the forward stroke centre back.
Yeah. Good old
Well, I
Billy.
heard the story about Rosario. The story about Rosario was, and I know this is just, but somebody said at the time that Clough thought he was signing Romario, and he ended up getting Rosario. But I think you're confused.
Rosario.
So I heard.
Who's the mod? Okay, so we've got a bit of an age range in the chat. Who is the more recent bad striker? Because me and Ant could go back like forever. Like Fashanu.
I'd put Jack Lester in there. I didn't rate Jack Lester. Nick loved Jack Lester.
Oh my God!
No, he was a
Quality,
good player.
man.
Jack Lester was.
I did not
He was
rate him,
alright.
man.
Player, man.
Nick
No,
loved
he was
it.
alright.
Nick nearly bought a Forest shirt with Leicester on the back of it. I was like,
Yeah,
what are
I'm
you
not
doing?
surprised.
Charles was
Good
right
for
back,
him.
mate.
I know he just didn't.
If
do
Jack
anything.
Lester got more
I would
games,
say the strikers in most recent history that I most like is David Johnson, Marlon Harewood. I thought he was going to be crap to start with, and then he was
Over it.
He was crap to
brilliant.
start with, but he got better.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Slightly.
We've got a blind striker now, Eddie.
Who else?
Chris Wood.
No, not Chris. Let's not go Chris.
We've
Oh,
got,
I thought
do you
he
remember that?
said Boyd. I thought he was talking about the Rangers guy.
George Boyd.
George Boyd.
Yeah, George Boyd from
Chris
Peterborough.
Boyd.
Yeah, Chris Boyd. Yeah,
Chris
he
Boyd.
came, like he
Chris Boyd,
was
sorry,
scoring about 200 goals a match in Scotland, wasn't he? Came down
Oh.
to us and not so good.
he
Are
was.
you?
What did you
Oh,
not
Ian
think?
Wallace.
Ian
Ian
Wallace
Wallace
was
or Wood?
class, mate. Ian Wallace.
Are you
was
a
class.
Wood now?
Footsie fucker, but class. Oops, sorry.
Are you or Wood?
Oh my god!
Who
What
gets
did you
in first? Are you Wood or Origi tomorrow?
League lover. Oh,
Origi.
coming out.
Origi.
Well, look,
Serious
it's-
question, because I watched your video the other day, Dino. I can't believe about Brian Roy, by the way. Make sure you check
Yeah.
that out. My hero, Brian Roy. What the hell? What did you not think on Dexter Blackstock? Were you fans or not?
Yeah.
I like.
No,
I
not
like
really.
I like him.
He scored some.
I like
He
him.
scored some important
like him.
goals, Derby County.
Yeah.
but I never thought he was a good striker. No.
Scored the goal back.
He was decent, man. I liked him.
Yeah, no.
Neil Harris. The Millwall boy.
He was no
Neil
Stan
Harris.
Collymore, was
He was. I thought he was going to be next. He wouldn't stop scoring for Millwall.
Yeah, but he came here, he was shit.
Neil
And he
Harris,
went back
yeah,
to
he
Millwall,
was.
didn't he? And he was great again.
he? Yeah, yeah,
Do you remember?
yeah. He was massive for Millwall. Yeah.
Chat, do you want us to carry on down this route or should we get back to the Everton?
Say no.
This
Well, look,
or Everton?
I guess it's my age, but I like nostalgia. Going down. But
Yeah,
some
I
of
mean, he
these
was
names are
average.
brought back
Blackstock,
such
but
memories,
yeah,
most of them bad.
I'd have him today. I would have him
Who?
tomorrow.
Ooh,
Blackstock, Dexter Blackstock. I'd have him
he's a bit
tomorrow.
old, mate. He's a bit old.
He's 37, man. He can still play.
Tell you what, Ian
Oh
Wallace
my
was
God, do you remember
mentioned. I
Marlon
bet you
King?
Ian Wallace used
Marlon
to get
King.
so
he was
much.
a unit.
Marlon King, man. Blood, I forgot about
Marlon
him
King.
completely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, some the chat knows
Adebola.
everything. Oh my
Dele
god,
Adebola. Oh my God. We've had some strikers, haven't we?
that's a weird one. Who was the
Simon
best
Cox.
in your time, man? In
Simon
your old
Cox
time?
scored one of the best goals.
Huh?
Simon
What's
Cox scored one of the best goals I've ever seen live.
Oh, I
One
wish you
against
stopped.
I
Yeah,
don't
he
know if
did.
you
He
remember.
did. Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, but you go on about it all the time. You
Well,
go on about it all the time.
Do
Guys,
you want to answer that
hit
then,
like
Wolfie?
if you think we've gone crazy. If you haven't already, there's still well over 200 of you in here. And who was the
Wolfie, do
best?
you want to answer that one?
Sorry?
Who was the best back
Wolfie.
in the day? Like the late
Oh,
70s.
Stan Collymore the best. Stan
No,
Collymore.
I know.
late 70s, early 80s. Who would you have said?
Uh,
Chatty. Oh, Billy Sharp, man. Again, another one.
You can't go far on with Gary Birtles, really. I mean, we had Peter Davenport, but he was very short-lived, really. But I would
What about
say
Woodcock?
Peter With.
he wasn't a goal-scoring striker. He was more of a facilitator, I would say, more of a number 10 type
Peter With.
player. It's funny with Peter With, yeah, because he was our top scorer when we came up, and then we sold him, and we thought, oh, poor Peter With has missed out on the league championship because we won the league obviously the next year. Yeah, match right.
Sick
And then he
note.
went on to win it with Villa. We
Can't forget
Taylor.
Lewis Graben. We can't forget Lewis Graben.
He
I
was
wasn't
brilliant.
as big as
I love
fan.
Lewis Graben.
I wasn't as
loved
big
him,
as
yeah.
fan.
Good striker.
He was a good striker. He just didn't have the pace for me. He didn't have the pace.
Yeah.
We had Justin Fashanu, not John Fashanu, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
You know who I did like?
Oh,
And
Gareth
it wasn't
Taylor.
a striker. He wasn't a striker. Amiobi. I loved him, man. He was so.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
he's
him,
going on
maybe.
about him.
He was like
It's
a bit of a
surprising.
one-year, wasn't he? Yeah.
It surprised me how good he
Yeah.
actually technically gifted he was. It surprised me.
Yeah, me and
He-
Ant said
Yeah,
we should do a
once
bit
a
earlier.
season.
Matt Derbyshire,
Once a
oh
season.
my God. What a waste.
What about Zach Clough? Remember Zach Clough?
Zach Clough,
Yeah.
Bolton.
Yeah.
Oh, how long did he do?
Junior
He was a bit
Agogo.
like he was a bit like
Junior
Carter,
Agogo.
wasn't he? Just sitting in the background earning wages for nothing.
Uh,
Steve Stone was a
we
midfielder,
got-
mate.
All
We're
right,
talking about
I think
attackers.
the wine's gone to these lots' heads. All right, let's
Junior
wrap it up.
played
Agogo.
again.
Junior Agogo. Mention Junior Agogo.
Oh, Junior
He's
Go,
dead
he's
now,
died
isn't he?
now, isn't he? Junior
dead,
Go.
Yeah.
Paul
I saw
McGregor.
John
Yeah,
Francis' first game for Forest Reserves before he played a first team match.
Dean Saunders.
I didn't.
Huckabee played well for Forest. Really good.
I like Dino. Have you ever heard Dean Saunders' story about when Cloughie signed him? That is a belter.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh
Thanks,
no, he's
Tony.
in knots now, isn't he, McGoldrick? McGoldrout, we used to call him.
Where
Remember
did
that,
he
He
McGoldrout?
turned up at Dean Saunders' house like me and Dean.
Huckabee I used to like. That was a good.
This is
team.
like completely derailed. The chat are getting into it. There's so many. Sheringham, man. Sheringham was literally as a
Teddy
kid.
Sheringham, yeah. I remember when
Yeah.
Cloughie dropped him and he's come back and scored a hat-trick. I played against Phil Starbuck in youth football. He scored
Not
about
on a
8
Sunday,
against
though.
us.
Not on a Sunday. Not on a Sunday. He was the
can't
guy that
remember.
refused to play for us on a Sunday because he's Christian.
Oh, no, I think it was a Sunday because I never played Sunday
really?
League.
Don't
Right,
don't
quick-
tell him. Don't tell
quick one.
anybody. You'll get in trouble.
Oh my God, man. Patch. Oh my God.
Oh, sorry,
he
bro.
cost me £4
Gosh,
on a call. Do you remember back in the day, you had to make a call for transfer news because there was no internet?
Yeah.
really wanted to know.
yeah.
£4 it cost me. I got slapped around by my dad for that one, man. For freaking
I got told off by my mum and
Jean-Claude
dad as
Darchel,
well.
man.
He
My
was
God.
rapid, wasn't he? But he didn't have much else.
He was crap, man. He
Who was the
like-
American guy? Who was the American guy?
Oh,
Columbus Crew.
Stern John.
Stern John.
And John.
He was good.
Oh my
He was
God, I
good.
forgot
Like,
Stern John.
was good.
Yeah.
Stern John was good.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you this question, right? And chat, what do you think? Outside of Peter Shilton, who's your favorite goalkeeper?
Breukelen.
Yeah.
Hans van Breukelen.
Yeah.
Wrong
Shilton's
answer.
number one.
Wrong
clear.
answer. Next
Absolute
week. What's
clear.
happening next week? Mark Crosley. Mark Crosley.
Big
Answer.
Norm.
Top answer.
Big
Oh,
Norm.
yeah,
obviously.
Big Norm.
Big Norm. We will
I've
be
seen
with
Nathan
Big Norm
Tyson
on
twice. in
Thursday.
Nottingham.
We'll be with Big Norm on Thursday at In for a Penny. There is a handful of tickets
I hope
left.
he's not
The link
watching
is
this.
in-
I'm going to be with Van Breukelen next Thursday on my own.
Yeah.
Me and DJ
Hope he's
Tone.
not watching this.
If you are saying Big Norm in the chat, honestly, I think there's 7 tickets Joe told me left. Go grab those tickets. Thursday, doors open at 6:30 p.m. In for a penny. It's been revamped as well. We did it with Pierce a couple of weeks ago. It's absolutely fantastic. So make sure you get those tickets in. I think the whole FFTV team will be there, as well as Big Norm. Honestly, his Cloughie impressions are so damn on point, man. He's
Legendary.
got
Yeah.
so many
Legendary.
stories.
The Vinnie Jones one's brilliant.
Legendary.
Yeah, so make sure you get those tickets. If you've said Big Norm in the chat site, you better be there. I've seen you saying Big Norm there. Absolutely.
And so I just following from that thing that you just brought up there. That
You can bring up
comment.
yourself. You can bring up yourself.
Oh, well, the wine's kicking in now. I mean, you noticed
Which one was
yeah,
that?
that one. He also saved Gary Lineker's.
Correct.
Did he?
And he also
think that might have
saved
been-
the most important penalty above all of those, Teddy Sheringham in the FA Cup replay. Oh man.
He also
that-
dropped the ball away at Bristol City in the FA Cup when I travelled and got absolutely pissed on all match in their open-ended stand.
all right, we've
Yeah, but
derailed.
we're seeing him
Other than
next
that.
week. Yeah, but we're seeing him next week, Dino. We don't talk about that.
No, I won't
We
talk about
will
that.
be
He's a big
talking
lad,
about
isn't he?
those things. All right,
What
why
a line.
are the likes only on 81 chat? It's still well over
Can I
200.
just say, I
of
like
you. Hit
the
that like
Lee
button.
Camp. The Lee Camp one I like.
Lee
Because
Camp?
for a short period of time, he was a real hero.
Yeah, but he always had that snooze. Was it called a snooze? Do you remember that snooze phase?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Used to annoy me,
No, I
man.
liked him. He was cocky, man. I liked him.
And
He had an
Sagan.
arrogance
That's
about him.
what
And
I'm
I'm
saying.
DJ
I thought he was
Tone,
great.
good call.
I thought he was brilliant.
League Cup, thanks, Steve-O.
Lee Camp was good. I'm just saying that snooze used to really annoy me because I'd
No,
be
I'm talking about Hans Sagers. Somebody else was talking about Lee Camp. Somebody else was talking.
All right, that's it. We're done. This is
You can tell I've had enough now.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow on the watch along.
Reminiscing.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed reminiscing. Game tomorrow.
Dino and a bottle of red wine. We'd be happy all night to see these names out.
I promise you guys, we will do.
Sorry.
Anyway, we will. I promise you, we will do this on a members stream very shortly. We just need a gap in the schedule of the matches, and we'll do a members stream down memory lane. We'll call it members memory lane or some cheesy thing like that.
That was kind of
that was. We're out of here. We'll see you
members memory lane and red wine for the white boys. We'll call it.
See you tomorrow.
You
Reds.